AITA, for not picking up my girlfriend from a concert at 1 a.m.? My girlfriend, 3-year relationship. We're in our late 20s, don't live together, went to a concert with 3 of her best friends, girl activity type thing, no boyfriends went. I've been working all day. It's 12:50 a.m. I'm in bed. The AC is on, lights are off. She calls me to tell me the concert is over, that she has low battery, and that she is figuring out how she's going to get home. I sense she's maybe fishing for me to offer to pick her up. I figure she's with 4 other very close, trustworthy people with cars. There's Uber. That concert area gets heavy traffic jams whenever there's a concert. I'm far away. There's plenty of ways for her to get home. I don't offer to pick her up, just tell her to get home safe and to keep me posted. A couple minutes later, I get a text from her asking me to please pick her up. I tell her how I don't understand how none of her friends can give her a ride and ask how me getting up and picking her up is what's making the most sense right now. She tells me her friends live close to the concert area. They'd have to get out of their way to give her a ride. I'm farther than all of them. I also ask why didn't she tell me earlier so I could be prepared to do this. At this point, she started just telling me to never mind and not responding. She got mad. I was actually willing to pick her up, but I needed her to know that I didn't like the way it was happening, so she didn't get accustomed to me being at her beck and call. So that's why my first responses were me complaining to her. I later offered, as I intended to after I got her first text, but she said she had found a ride. She ended up getting a ride with her friend's boyfriend, who was picking her friend up, obviously making me look bad. I'm willing to bet a lot of money the other guy was asked earlier in the day to pick his girl up. Anyway, AITA? Edit, she called me while still with her girlfriends. They were going to the home of one who lives next to the concert place. Her phone wasn't dead, and it actually didn't end up dying until she later reached home. She refuses to take Ubers because she doesn't trust them, so I guess it was never an option for her. First comment, honestly, Yitia. I get that you were annoyed that she asked you last minute and didn't make any other plans that you know of. But right as she was asking you was not the right time to do it. Maybe her original plan fell through. Maybe she planned to stay overnight with the friend nearby, or maybe she made a mistake and didn't think the evening through. That's absolutely on her. But she then reached out to you and asked for your help, and you blew her off. As a woman, it's incredibly scary, not knowing how to get home in the middle of the night, and a lot of options that are available to you are not available to you, are not available to her, or are a hell of a lot less safe. You should have picked her up to make sure she got home safe and then have a conversation with her the next day or so that you were annoyed at the last-minute request, and that moving forward you want her to communicate better with you if she needs you to pick her up somewhere. But in that moment, for you, her safety should have been more important, as should have helping her when she asked you in genuine need. Be annoyed later, but act in the moment. And this is not because of the genders involved. I think she should have done the same for you if the situation was reversed. I once picked my husband up from an hour away in the middle of the night because it was raining heavily and he was afraid to drive home with his motorcycle. We had argued when he left about taking the motorcycle as it was expected to start raining, but he blew those concerns off. When he called after midnight and sheepishly asked if I could come pick him up, I was livid, but I still went and got him. Second comment, sorry, but you're definitely TA. Your girlfriend of 3 years, you guys are in a partnership. Meaning you got me, I got you. The fact that her phone is dying, you just want to bitch about how it's going to be so hard for you to get in your car and wait in a little traffic to make sure your partner is 100% safe would have sent me into a rage. Regardless if it was unplanned or not, that's your F-King roll dog. She is more your responsibility than any other friend, point blank. She called you thinking that she's calling a safe, reliable transportation out of there. You just want to talk shit. Your only response should have been on my way. I'd kig your GF, but she probably felt really hurt because if the roles were reversed, she would have went for you. You definitely dropped the ball in my personal opinion. Next time, be there for your partner first, talk shit later. Third comment, GF is an asshole for springing this on you last minute. She knew she was going to the concert. She knew she needed a way home. This kind of feels like a power play, or is just really inconsiderate at the least. The fact that Op was on guard for this kind of behavior hints that this isn't the first time something like this has happened, or he's just a real jerk. Can't say either way yet. I think Op's reaction is natural. He's about to go to sleep, and he gets the call. I'd be grumpy too, and expressing that grumpiness with a highly reasonable question is fair game at that point. He said he'd pick her up, so it wasn't a matter of stranding her anywhere, and she was with people, so again, it's not like she was in any danger. NTA. Fourth comment, my friend who happens to live upstairs called me at 12 something to pick her up from the bus stop after a concert. It was a less than 10-minute drive, but I was pissed because it meant I had to get up, change, wake myself up, and try really hard to fall back asleep because I was wide awake after driving. She could have taken the train and walked 15 minutes home from the station. That's what I usually do. Or she could have taken a taxi. There are always plenty waiting at the bus stop. Nope, she felt entitled to make me get out of bed and pick her up because that's what's most convenient for her. Her reasoning was me picking her up was quickest and she had work the following morning. Like I didn't. Op was willing to do it, he just wasn't happy about it. Fifth comment, well, sort of. She asked, and he went back and forth arguing that she should ask her friends. It was too far away at AITA. She eventually said don't worry about it and went quiet. Then he offered to pick her up, but by then she'd made other arrangements. From her point of view, it didn't sound like he was planning to come get her at all until later on. I do think she should have asked in advance, but maybe she thought she'd get a lift from a friend and was unpleasantly surprised that none of them were willing to drop her off. Someone else mentioned that Op was only a 10-minute drive from the venue as well, obviously still rubbish to be dragged out of bed at 1 a.m., but not the onerous task that he's made it out to be either.